welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. It's TGR 905. It's Rod Guy here with J Bills.
Yeah, what up?
J Rod is indisposed. Sammy is MIA, but I think he might make a surprise drop in. And I'm also here with Nico Suave.
What up? So before we started this episode, everybody was here.
Everyone?
Just a heads up. It's not like we just showed up with three mans and a blank screen. But the rest of them will show up eventually. But how's everybody doing lately?
Just living, LIVIN, in need of a haircut, you know, as you can see.
Yeah. I was telling him that he looked like the villain from The Fifth Element. If any of y'all seen that movie.
I look like
such a classic movie.
I need the stones.
That's pretty good, actually.
It's my Gary Oldman.
The impersonation you did earlier of Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh was awful. But
how dare you?
You redeemed yourself with this one.
Okay. Well, I've seen Fifth Element like a million times. It's one of my favorites.
Sammy.
Sammy is here.
Sammy, what are you saying? You doing a live cooking show on air?
Well, like a caveman.
My bad, yo.
It's all good. Shout out
just
to
restart my phone.
It's all good. Sammy with the TGR 905 hoodie.
Jeez.
We got some new merch in stock too.
Jeez. Don't sleep.
And check out the TGR 905 playlist on Spotify.
Yep.
It's bubbling.
Big shoes on there still.
All the Mandam contribute to putting music on there periodically. It's an eclectic mix of hip hop and rap music. A lot of ignorant shit, a lot of chill shit. But I was jamming to it actually last weekend, and it was very appropriate. Shout out to y'all.
That's all I listen to when I'm driving in my whip nowadays. Just our playlist. It's so in it.
Yeah, I was jamming to it all week last week, and then
it's called
I went off and started my own little playlist, Trapping in Catan, which is trapping in Japan, except in Catan. So it combines my love of chill trap music and playing Catan.
Yeah.
Check that out as well.
Definitely. So it's called Green Room Radio on Spotify.
Yeah.
Just follow that shit.
Yes.
But and usually I mention this at the end of the episode, but I'll do it now. Is if any of you listeners want to be a special guest on the show, hit us up, and we'll be glad to have you. As long as you're interesting, obviously. And,
if you're a waste man, don't even holler, bro.
Don't sit there in silence like a fucking creep.
Yeah.
But
post it up and shit.
Yeah.
But speaking of Spotify, Ryan, you were mentioning something about Spotify earlier.
Yeah, so kind of there's a interesting story I read this morning about Spotify. Essentially, overnight, 50% of around 50% of all of the K-pop music on Spotify was removed.
What was the reasoning behind that?
Wait, K-pop, was that Korean pop music?
Yeah, Korean pop music.
Don't you know, bro?
Yeah, I know, but I just want to make sure I know,
So essentially, Kakao M owns all this K-pop music, some of the biggest stars in the world.
Such as?
But essentially, Kakao M owns Melon, which is a streaming service in Korea. And of course, Spotify is, operating in Korea now these days. And so no statements have been made, but based on what I've looked into it, it just kind of looks like they're beefing because, when Spotify wasn't trying to sell music to people in Korea, it was fine for them to have all their Korean pop owned by Kakao M. But then obviously once they started cutting into Melon's profit margins, then it becomes a little bit more of an issue for them. And then, just overnight. So, not just for people in Korea, because, K-pop's kind of like a worldwide phenomenon. It's kind of a huge deal. I mean, imagine one day getting up and it's like the Thanos snap, like half of the hip hop music on your playlist is just gone because whoever owns half of it was just like, nah, fuck that, starting my own streaming service.
That'd be so ignorant. You're right.
Yeah. Bare people would.
Okay, so they're trying to start their own streaming service?
They already have their own streaming service. The company that owns that music, they have a streaming service in Korea called Melon.
Okay.
Kakao M. They have.
Okay.
They have a streaming service called Melon.
My bad.
And yeah, so obviously Spotify's moving in on their business in Korea now too.
Yeah.
So they're like, what the fuck? Fuck you, and then beef began.
Jeez.
And,
Industry beef.
That's all we really know right now. So I mean, it's and what I'm saying is completely speculative. That's just the only thing that makes sense to me right now. Neither side has released any statement that I'm aware of so far.
I feel like it's gonna be the shift though for like a lot of artists too. It's gonna start happening, right? Because like Tidal, who owns that again? Jay-Z and
Yeah.
right. Who knows? Maybe he might start, exclusively putting only his music and his artist music on Tidal, right?
Yeah,
I even think you can get Jay-Z music on Spotify, to be honest.
yeah, you can.
No way.
It's there now.
Can you now? Oh yeah, it's been there for a while. You couldn't, and yeah, I think it was recently he started putting his music on Spotify. I remember that. And it was smart because at the time that he did that, bare people started streaming his music on Spotify right away.
Yeah.
So it's like it just brought interest to it immediately, just by saying, you know what, Spotify, you can have that. Now give me some cash.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Exactly.
It's a finesse.
It's the same thing with with sort of Netflix. I remember reading an article the other day how they're sort of doubling down on getting K dramas into their streaming service. So apparently between like 2018 and 2020, they spent up to $2 billion just trying to create more content from Asia, specifically Korea, to get their content onto Netflix itself because of their ever-growing subscribing list,
And it's a worldwide thing.
Exactly. Just like K-pop and K-drama. I mean, I know nothing about it personally, but I know there's a huge, huge market for it.
Yeah.
Your Korean movies are fire, bro.
Yeah.
Parasite, bro. Old Boy.
Yeah,
Parasite.
fire,
Old Boy. Like
Yep.
some of the
Old
best
Boy is a
movies.
Korean movie? That was a crazy movie.
Old Boy. That was
seen-
originally Korean, yeah.
You ever see Parasite?
Parasite
I think
is
I've seen
fucking
Parasite.
fire.
It's
No,
one of my favorite movies of all time.
Seriously?
It's
Yeah,
so
yo,
good,
for
bro.
real.
I've seen it like 5 times.
I got
Guy, there was
I need to read that.
there was a whole fucking a whole like discrepancy at the award shows, Academy shows, because they got like best film or something, and they're like,
They got
how
best foreign film as opposed to best film.
I thought it was like best
Oh,
film,
really?
and everyone was causing a stink over it because like they're not even an American movie. How could they get best film or some shit like that?
But it's like best film, right? I don't know.
It's film in general, though.
Yeah,
But sort of
they
like
beat a lot of people.
yeah,
white people being salty. That's all. It is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Give us awards.
Parasite's sort of like a thriller, a psychological thriller, horror, comedy,
It's like all
drama,
okay.
all in one. They like to.
Yeah, it's all-
There's like the same thing with Old Boy, and there was another Korean
Old
movie I
Boy is
watched.
dope.
In a sec.
Did you know that same director directed Snowpiercer too?
Oh,
Such a-
Snowpiercer is
I
dope.
hear Snowpiercer is
The movie or
supposed
the
to be
show?
really good. The show.
The movie.
The
The
movie was
movie
dope.
is the movie is so good.
The show's pretty
Yeah,
good too. I'm not gonna lie.
Same director as Parasite.
Oh, really? I heard the
Yeah.
show's really good.
Show's
I
pretty
tried.
good.
I tried it,
Yeah.
and obviously I didn't last because I never last when it comes to shows. But the movie is like a cult classic.
You know what movie I started watching last night? Ended up falling asleep because I turned it on real late, but I'm looking forward to getting back into it. Was Black KK Klansman.
Oh, so
I
weird
wanted
that
to
you
do that,
mentioned
yeah.
that because I was just about to say like it's actually one of the talking points on my thing is like, have you guys seen Black Klansman?
Yeah. That movie.
Nah,
is-
I wanna watch it.
I haven't finished it yet, but I started watching it and I was
Bills, you seen it?
really enjoying it. I thought
Yeah,
it was
I've seen it. It's pretty jokes.
Yeah, Spike Lee joint. Sammy, have you seen
Yeah,
it?
it's good.
No, I've been wanting to watch it. It's been on my watch list. I just haven't really picked up a lot of movies and stuff lately,
Yeah.
yo.
It took me a few days because usually like movies I spread out, but
Mm-hmm.
it was one of those movies where I didn't have high expectations for it. because I'm not the biggest like Spike Lee fan. This movie was pretty hilarious. Yeah, and it's like it's raw, you know. It's like
get straight to
some points make people uncomfortable, but that's just the reality of it, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, the way the story was told, and it's based on a true story, which is based on a novel. The novel is based on a true story, and then the movie's based on the novel. Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty sick.
You guys ever seen Snowfall? It's a John Singleton series.
Bro, that series is so dope. That's my shit right there, bro.
Trust me, bro. I think like when it first came out back in 2017, I was glued to that shit heavy, bro. Season just came back.
So greasy. Yeah, I seen they dropped 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And they're gonna drop the next one on Wednesday, bro. Honestly, the way they made that show is so dope.
John Singleton, that's why, bro.
Yeah, he knows it. He killed that.
What else has he made?
He did Menace to Society, I'm pretty sure, right?
Okay. Yeah, he did Menace to Society. Did he do Boys in the Hood?
No, was that John Singleton? I think it was.
Maybe.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Right now.
He did,
he did Boys in the Hood, Four Brothers,
Four Brothers. Such a classic movie.
That was dope.
Straight hood movies, yo. It's like straight hood movies. Me too. My favorite.
Straight hood movies. Yeah, he's a real one.
Snake Moan, Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow.
Oh my god. Whoop that trick.
Higher Learning.
No, that was a good
Higher Learning too? He did Higher Learning too?
Yeah.
That's a good fucking movie, man.
Honestly, yeah, he's greasy.
Yeah, John Singleton, man. Rest in peace. I think he passed away.
Oh, R.I.P. JS.
R.I.P. for real, bro.
But speaking of shows, Sammy, you still watch Mandalorian?
It's been done, but there's that whole thing with Gina
Carano.
Yeah.
Carano.
Yeah, where she went on Twitter, I think.
Yeah.
What'd she say? She said
so basically she got fired from her job or her acting position as whoever the fuck she plays on that show. But the reason why she got fired was because on Twitter she said something that was supposedly anti-Semitic, right? For the viewers or listeners or whatever, you can just Google that if you want to debate whether or not it's anti-Semitic or not. We're not here to do that. But she was essentially released from her position from Disney and Lucasfilms because of that. But it's weird because if you actually read what she says, I think it's actually a picture she posted with a caption or something like that, saying how, this is just like the gist of it, how the Jews were persecuted because of their own people first. And it made the Nazis, it made it easier for them to round them up and sort of do what they did, these unfortunate circumstances. So I guess Disney took it the wrong way or something, saying that we're not standing by all this shit.
Ever be talking about people like that.
Right.
Well, if you work in the entertainment business, don't be talking about Jews.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the dumbest thing you possibly do.
What are you, a moron?
Yeah, straight the fuck up.
Sorry,
Really?
I was just gonna say that too, but yeah, you took the word out of my mouth.
Yeah, no, it's weird because like you say that, but it's, obviously when you're making fun of your own people, because there's a lot of Jewish people in the industry who,
if you're a Jew, you can do it.
Who rag on Jews, right? And obviously it's satire then.
Yeah.
But it's weird because there was nothing blatantly anti-Semitic or racist or prejudiced that she said. It was actual fact that this is what occurred during those times, and that's the reason why she said that is because she's comparing those times to the political climate that we're experiencing today.
Yeah.
Didn't she say something like along the lines of like if people getting ridiculed for their political views is like the equivalent of I don't know if that's correct or not, Jewish people of the Holocaust or something like that, right? Something along those lines.
She might have said something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Like I can pull it up, but I think she deleted.
I'm sure you can.
I think she deleted it, but it's whatever. Anyways, yeah, apparently that was like the final straw from her employer saying that you can't be saying this shit anymore because she's been known to sort of go on these tirades.
So she's been doing this, so it's not the first time.
Yeah, but like if you look at the things she was talking about, man, it's just like the shit we talk about. you know?
Yeah,
so I'm
but
not comparing.
I get it, but like if she got the warning from the get-go, like before, she should just know herself and just not do it, right? If that's your livelihood, it makes sense just to chill and do it on your own time, you know, with the people that you know you're close in your close circle. But if you're gonna be putting that out there on the internet, you're famous and shit, you know, a bunch of people are gonna see that. And even if it's not anything that's wrong, just don't do it.
Yeah, I heard Jon Favreau even wanted to, like, he said he, I don't know if it's true or not. He said he wanted to cancel the show if they didn't give her job back.
Yeah. Like I know where you're coming from, Bills, and it's weird because there is a fine line between like my livelihood versus whatever, right? But the thing is, like, you have a platform. I mean, she even says that if you're silent about your beliefs because you're worried someone will be offended, then your beliefs are not that important to you, but rather what people think of you is. So in a sense, it's just like, what's the difference between her and somebody like Trump or something like that, right? Poor example, but
if she gets blackballed in her industry, that's it.
Right, especially being like a woman, like they're already so disadvantaged in the industry, but she's one to voice her opinion about certain things. She was talking about how Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, how mask wearing is pretty much useless, how they should open up businesses and schools because the residual effects of quarantine are doing more detrimental damage than the actual virus.
True.
Because of suicides, murders, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people have committed suicide. So crazy.
She mentions things like elections being rigged and how they should be sort of, you know, they should be watched or they should be regulated. Obviously, more so.
I got the quote for you guys if you want. That
sure, let's hear it.
Yeah,
guy.
So Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighborhoods hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?
Or for the color of their skin, or for their religious beliefs, right?
Yes.
Like when I read that, there was nothing anti-Semitic about it. That's obviously, but I could be biased because I'm not I'm not too informed about it, but just from what I read, you could substitute Jews with Black people or Jews with Asian people or something, and it will still make sense to this day, right? Not obviously not in the same severity or circumstance, but it's still the same lineage, you know. But like, look at what's going on today. That's what's happening, right? So the comparison is factual, in my opinion, because you look at left versus right, blue versus red, black versus white type of thing, Christian versus Muslim, it doesn't matter what, right? But the reason why we're getting to these points in terms of violence and hatred and prejudice and segregation is because of miseducation, misinformation, disinformation, social media, what we see in mainstream media, how things are certainly portrayed, and it makes no difference, right? It's the same shit over and over again. But the fact that is that there was a tweet by the Auschwitz Museum on Twitter. I didn't even know they had their own Twitter, but how much I know. They said that this is like one of their tweets, which was similar to her tweet in the sense is they said that hatred had developed from words, stereotypes, prejudice through legal exclusion, dehumanization, and escalating violence, all of which we are still experiencing today. So they compared that was in reference to the Holocaust not starting in gas chambers or genocide, mass genocide. It started with stereotypes, hateful words, prejudice, exclusion, dehumanization, and violence. Is that not sort of like what she's saying? Is that not sort of what we're experiencing?
It's the gist of it. Yeah.
Is that not what we're experiencing like in today's society, right? Like you can turn on the news, CNN, and shit's still happening. Like we were talking about Black Klansman earlier, but at the end of the movie, they make Bills, you remember the end of the movie? I'm not spoiling anything for Ryga. I know you didn't finish it.
Yeah, I remember the end of the movie, but yeah, I
when they show the actual footage of riots going down from 2017 to 2018. And it's crazy. It's just like, oh yeah, I remember that. But
it's like it didn't happen. Like it happened so long ago, but it just happened like just a little while ago.
Crazy. 3 years ago, which is crazy. Like it was literally what you see. It's like what you see in the movie, and then which takes place in 1984 or some shit like that. Yeah. And then what takes place now, which was just a few years ago, is like nothing has changed, right?
It's repeating itself. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that movie was dope actually. Yeah, you need to finish that though.
I'm gonna finish that shit tonight, probably. Still.
But it's weird because it's like back to your point, Bills. How when is it freedom of speech when you can't speak your mind, even no matter what platform you have? You know what I'm saying? But obviously, we're not familiar with what's in her contract or what's her deal with Disney or Lucasfilms. Yeah. Obviously, I'm sure they said, yo, you can't say shit to hurt our brand or our image, right?
Of course. That's number one.
But she didn't go out saying that.
It's true.
Like something very super blatant or racist or anti-Semitic outright, right? What she said, it was historical fact.
Yeah, but the problem is she riled up people. That was
we live in cancel culture.
Yeah, exactly. Cancel culture is the most envious culture. Like this new generation is not playing around. If you say anything that goes against any of the beliefs, it's a wrap.
And you know, on the internet, if you're guilty until proven innocent on the internet.
Pretty much,
with it for everything.
Yeah,
it's just so raw.
That's the way it goes. If one person says something bad about you and someone else believes it, you're a piece of fucking shit. Another person says something good about you, and
slander.
Your person's so amazing, but you could be a fucking asshole.
The internet is raw because they'll dig up shit from fucking 2001 on your ass, bro. 2001,
like back when you were on fucking
Black Planet.
T.Wire.
Messenger, bro. Just a relic.
Eventually, someone's gonna dig up all the times I went as blackface for Halloween.
Is that true?
No, I've never done that.
I don't know.
That is true. I remember those times.
Yeah, no.
I was there, bro.
I went as the white Ruby Rod. Speaking of Fifth Element, I'm Zorg this year, but I went as the white Ruby Rod from Fifth Element. Nobody knew who I was. But.
Just to like finish up the topic, and you talk about there's discrepancy. Obviously, like she can't say or she shouldn't say what she said, whatever. But do you guys know who James Gunn is?
Yeah.
Director of Guardians of the Galaxy and
Suicide Squad.
Like he didn't get canceled by Disney when he went on a string of tweets about the most heinous shit.
He did.
He made him too much money, maybe.
He got fired, but then he got rehired.
Right?
He made him too much money, probably.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And he's like,
but she ain't making him that much money.
So first there were all the people backlashing against him, but then once he actually got fired, then there was a whole another group of people that were like, "Whoa, what the fuck? You're firing this guy?" Like, nah.
And that's probably what's happening with this girl right now too.
Yeah, they shouted louder than the people who were mad in the first place. It was like, okay, well now we got to give James Gunn his job now.
She just better hope her fans hold her down then if that's the case, because
yeah, and it's weird because like you sort of see, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what he tweeted back in the day, but and if you want to believe or refuse to believe that things like pedophilia and molestation are rampant in Hollywood, which is you don't need to do too much digging to see that it's an like a pandemic essentially. Yeah. He was tweeting about fucking cannibalism, eating babies, like raping children and shit like that is just vile, sick, twisted shit, right? But I don't know, like what happened to him, right? He's still directing movies and
What the fuck?
making better movies. You didn't get canceled.
Well, it's because Gina, whatever her name is, she's a fucking retired UFC fighter. Ain't no gonna back her up.
Yeah, she's also
Pretty
a woman.
much.
He's also a man.
Yeah,
He's,
White-
yeah, he's
white
also
man.
a
Very
white
true.
man in
Very true.
Hollywood who
Yeah.
has a lot of pull, because I bet you he does.
Creepy
You can
stuff.
say that what he tweeted is satire, is just dark comedy, but there's definitely some truth into that type of shit, man. There's no
100%.
about it.
always. Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate circumstance when someone can get away with essentially airing themselves out about
Stuff that they do.
being a pedophile versus someone who tweeted about historical fact. You can see how sort of backwards society has become, in a sense.
Yeah, and I hear this is I don't know if it's entirely related, but do you guys hear about the Johnny Depp thing with his ex-wife?
Yeah.
Is his wife
So-
abusive to him or something like that?
Yeah, she beat the shit out of him, yo.
Yeah, something like that. But he was supposedly the wife beater. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I remember reading about it one day just because like, okay, what's all the fuss about this? Let me figure it out. Basically, he ended up getting fired from Fantastic Beasts because he lost some sort of case where he was trying to get some slanderous comment removed that called him, I quote, a wife beater. And so since he lost that, then Fantastic Beasts, Warner Brothers was like, all right, no, sorry, you can't be in our movie anymore. In comes Mads Mikkelsen, which I don't have a problem with that because I love Mads Mikkelsen. But I was reading today that possibly Amber Heard, the girl, the ex-wife or whatever she was, who accused Johnny Depp, is getting fired from Aquaman. And there was a huge outcry of obviously there were people like, fuck Johnny Depp, he's the worst person, fire him and shit. And then there were the people once he got fired that were all complaining and they wanted Amber Heard to get fired and shit. And so they're all applauding today because it's reported that she's been fired from Aquaman too.
Yeah, that was speculated for a while too with that whole shit, because apparently there's some audio that he recorded that explained that she was the one who was the abusive one in the relationship, apparently.
I believe that, bro. I
Yeah.
believe that.
I
Yeah.
believe that times 10.
It's weird because in a circumstance like this, usually men get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to everything in this world. But in this circumstance, it's the woman who gets the benefit of the doubt, right? But
Always.
Yeah.
there is a high, there is abuse of men in a lot of relationships from women, right? And they can't necessarily do anything because they'll get in trouble, right? Super trouble.
For that, bro. Basically.
And if they want to tell anyone, you're like, yeah, my wife's beating me.
Then they'll get laughed at.
See how good that works out for you, telling that
already
story,
laughing.
especially if you're a famous person in the public eye.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
swear,
Johnny Depp getting
that
beat
was
up
a
by women
thing.
and stuff.
back in the day, Liza
What?
Minnelli. It was thing Liza Minnelli beat her husband. I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but
That is
she
back.
kept on going being Liza Minnelli, the wife beater, or husband beater. But,
And it goes so much more beyond physical abuse, obviously, like verbal abuse, psychological, mental abuse. Over time, that shit builds up, and you never know when somebody might snap eventually. So, playing a dangerous game.
A very dangerous game.
Yeah.
Abusing your
TikTok crack,
partner,
nigga.
no matter what.
Yeah.
There is. It's a thing. It's a unfortunate thing. I mean, if somebody close to me was saying that, yo, Meeks, my partner's kicking the shit out of me every night. I'm like, really, bro?
That's really funny.
Well, obviously,
Yeah, no.
it's weird. It's a weird situation being a man dealing with other men's problems like that, because as men, we keep reverting back to this topic, how men are supposed to be, the front line, fucking hard as shit, no emotion, alpha male,
you got no emotion,
no pain, no gain type of shit, That's it.
Done that.
fact, though.
But we're all human at the end of the day, right?
Exactly.
So,
I have a good cry every night.
Nothing wrong with having a good cry.
nothing's wrong.
Have a good
Nothing's
cry.
wrong with a good cry, bro.
Holy.
Ain't nothing
That's
wrong.
a good cry every night.
Have you ever had a bad cry?
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying, usually anytime I've ever cried in my life, I end up feeling better later. So, you know, like crying is kind of a good thing. It's
it's like a purge.
It's exactly what I was about to say. It's what's the word?
Cleanse.
Or catharsis.
Gotta let
It's
it
a
out.
cleanse.
Yeah.
It's weird
whatever's
because
pent up.
from my experience, it's like, and obviously I'm not generalizing. This is from my experience. I'm not speaking on behalf of fucking everybody. So I don't want to hear in the comments or DMs that like, oh, Neeks, no, what you made wasn't a fucking accurate assumption. Shut the fuck up. No, anyways.
Yeah.
It's different between men and women. I noticed that women, they cry more from little things, but they do it periodically, right? So it's like a constant cleanse or a constant purge. Where men, it's like when we cry, it's like we're fucking, you know, fucking crying, bro. Like, gotta rehydrate after because this shit was building up for time, you know?
You know what? I'm not ashamed to admit it. I teared up recently. Actually watching it was very weird for me because I was like, why am I having an emotional reaction right now? It's a very weird thing to have an emotional reaction to. But did you all see that new Netflix documentary is something the Cecil Hotel?
I've seen the first episode.
About this girl.
Some paranormal shit.
I'm not gonna reveal anything to you guys, but basically the video of her in the elevator, like watching it, like made me tear up because it was so like creepy and fucking like weird, and you feel so empathetic for this person,
right?
You know, something's not right, you can tell, right? And then of course your mind goes into different spaces as to what could be the issue, whether it be something with her, whether it be something paranormal, whether someone is stalking her, you don't know what the issue is. Interesting documentary. I thought the ending was the ending's sad, let's just say that, but
at least you know you're an empathetic human being, you know, like you know you feel some sort of ways, even though there's no direct connection, that you can feel for somebody that way.
You know what always used to get me is, you guys ever see the episode of Futurama where he finds the fossilized dog? And like when he's like, when they're about to reincarnate the dog and they find out that the dog lived for however many years after he died, and then Fry's like, oh, he must have just forgot about me or whatever, and so he doesn't reincarnate him. And then they show the video of the dog after Fry disappeared, waiting outside the pizza shop for him, like day after
that's
day,
such a classic episode.
Man, that used to pull on my heartstrings big time, bro. Holy shit, man. I think about it, I want to tear up.
Now that we're on that topic, like before we get into Sammy's story, I think it was like a few weeks ago, for the first time ever in my life, and I'm being really candid about this because I'm comfortable about talking about it. There's no, like, I don't care. I had a nervous breakdown.
For real?
It was the first time I've ever had one of those, and it was because of work. Like working a year and plus straight in COVID frontline, it was like I never knew it was building up until that point, right? Because I'm the type of person who just like balls it in, you know, just tucks it away, hide it somewhere, deal with it later, you know, the typical man shit. But I think it was that one night where I just sort of just snapped. Started crying, started laughing, then started crying again. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like I couldn't breathe, man. Like I had trouble breathing. Like I was hyperventilating, right? So then I knew at that point, because my girlfriend was there and my family was there, and they're like, yo, maybe you should, you know, step back for a bit, take some time off. So I took a personal leave off, took a week. I finished my break in 2 days. But I went to Ottawa, like I was telling J-Rod and Sammy earlier. And we just spent a week there and just, you know, unwound away from everything, all that bullshit, whatever. And I mean, it's helped tremendously. And my work is like, we have a great program. It's a third-party resources where people can seek mental health help and stuff like that. There's a hotline and therapists you can talk to. But it was like a real eye-opener because you don't realize how vulnerable you are how human you are until, you know, you're exposed. Like, I hate to say exposed because exposed sounds like a weakness, but it's not a weakness, right? If anything, you turn that into a strength because then you know.
Yeah.
Right? So I think after all those years of dealing with, like I said, everybody's dealt with mental health in some way or another. But I think it's a growing, like, something that we have to periodically deal with as we grow older until the day we pass. Because just like how our bodies get sick, we can also not feel well up there. And
For sure.
we learn through experience how to deal with it and what to do. So.
Bro, yeah. it's all pent up as well. You know what I mean? It's things that we, like you said, we keep stored inside, and you know, I've dealt with it pretty often myself as of late. Especially because I haven't really stopped working from the whole COVID situation either. But like, that's neither here or there. But yeah, it's, you know, it's really detrimental to kind of to release those kind of feelings, like, you know, in a way where you can kind of purge it, you know what I mean? Like, not go out and tell everybody your fucking feelings and shit, but it's you know, it's good to just kind of release them somehow, like going hiking, you know, no one's there, you can talk to yourself essentially, and that's a way of, you know, releasing it out there into the world. Yeah,
100%. Like, having an outlet, having something where you can take that energy and put it into something is huge. I know, like, journaling, like I said in the previous episode, has helped me tremendously. The fact that it's been winter and I couldn't be out, like, there's no sun, and I don't do Muay Thai right now because my gym's closed, so exercise is very limited. Just like a combination of all those things plus whatever happens at work, it's just building up, and then obviously
for sure
shit like that happened. But it's what it is now, so, you know, it's a new day.
You got it out.
Exactly. I got it out. I was embarrassed at first, because I don't want to seem weak in front of people, right? Especially in front of your family, right? You're supposed to be the male, like the new generation who sets things up for the future of the family, right? But that's such backwards thinking, man. So
it definitely is. It's like, it's just crazy because, like, this generation is just so, like, it's like everything revolves around mental health, you know what I mean? Like, back in our folks' era, you know what I mean? Like, they had no option but to kind of be hardened, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now it's like everything's kind of force fed to us, you know what I mean? Like, just not emotions exactly, but like just like the way we're supposed to feel, you know what I mean? And sometimes we just don't know how to fucking feel, to be honest. Like, I don't know how to feel half of the time, but I just kind of work on myself because that's all I can control at the end of the day.
Exactly. It's an ongoing battle, for sure.
Constantly.
But I feel like as long as you're mindful and you approach it from a healthy and holistic standpoint, then you're winning no matter what.
Oh, for sure. It's like, well, let's, you know, segue into my story here.
Yeah. Like, how were you feeling when you did? Was it?
So yeah. So I've been talking.
You did A?
I've been telling you guys on here for a while that I've always wanted to try, you know, acid.
Ready for
it. Honestly, man, it's like a shroom high, but a lot more cleaner. If that makes any sense.
That's what
yeah.
I've heard these things.
You don't get those violent waves. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The waves?
Yeah,
oh my god.
The violent waves.
I get the waves, but not violent. Not violent.
Hit you like, oh.
It's like almost like uncontrollable. You know what I mean? It's almost like remember, you know how I told you guys I felt like a serial killer that one time? Yeah, like one of those violent fucking waves where like it's uncontrollable. Where when you're on the acid, it feels like you're just tuned in, you're super focused, you know what I mean? And I went snowboarding too, you know, people were like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You went snowboarding when you're on acid. No, but like, I was focused. I was like my mind was like, yo, I need to get from point A to point B. I'm fucking doing this fucking jump here, doing this jump there, and I'm gonna survive because I know what I need to do, pretty much. If that's a good way to explain it.
So you're saying you need to do more acid.
How much did you do?
I want to say I did about a tab and a half, but we microdosed. So we took, portions throughout the day. One downfall to it is that you cannot sleep for the life of you. Because I did it, I want to say around 11 a.m. in the morning and a couple other times after that, but I couldn't sleep until like 3 or 4 in the morning afterwards.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And the last time I took it was probably around like 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
So you're saying I need to start taking acid?
Moral of the story: it's acid time.
You will appeal normal as fuck too. Like you can probably high functionally like work and shit, and you might be okay.
Yeah, especially if you microdose.
Yeah.
It affects people differently. You know what I mean? Like for me, it affected me a lot differently than the next man. Just like shrooms. You know what I mean?
So we can do an episode on it, essentially.
I think so.
The TGR acid episode.
TGR acid. Oh my god.
I think we need to show another voice clip of the Truman Show episode.
100%.
Put it up on IG for our listeners and ask them if they want it on video part 2.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
We're trailblazers in the podcast community. Okay, I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So wait.
So did you do it? You did it with somebody.
Yeah, I did it with my boy Taylor.
Okay, shout out to Taylor.
Oh shit, I should probably can we bleep that out?
Shout out to Mr. Brown.
So you did it with a guy named Tyler. That's what I heard.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So yeah, I did it with Tyler, and it was an interesting feeling because like sometimes I wouldn't feel it, but then I would sit down and just like, whoa, like fucking wavy, bro. Yeah.
What's Tyler's last name?
Tyler's last name is Tyler
Hero.
Yeah, sure.
Jeez.
Guys giving out the man's full gubby and everything.
What's his address and social insurance? Holy shit.
I only know his mom's address. No,
jeez. Whatever. So wait, man, isn't it really like hallucinate or anything? See anything crazy on the snow?
I didn't take enough to feel like that, but I'll tell you what I seen like everything was vibrant.
Did you see
everything
eyes?
Everything was vibrant. Everything was crazy, like neon lights type of looking, you know what I mean? Like it was a super bright day too. So the colors are super green.
I love that. That's like the best.
That's the best present.
Yeah, like
very vivid, like
exactly.
Colors, like,
and I had goggles on, right? My goggles are like super like if you would imagine like fucking Randy Savage's fucking glasses. Like that's the kind of fucking view you're getting. Yeah, exactly. Like everything was super colorful. It's crazy, man.
Sick. And how long would you say it lasted?
For me,
12 hours.
It was about 12 hours.
That's crazy long. That's like as long as mushrooms.
Again, though, because we microdose, right? So
mushrooms is like an 8-hour trip.
Yeah, 7-8 hours for sure. But that's 12 G's.
Yeah.
That's half a day, dog.
Yeah,
you gotta do it.
Definitely half a day.
So you're saying we gotta do acid? That's what I keep hearing.
Holy.
Hey, man, I'm about it. If you haven't done it, bro.
You gotta do it.
Come to my acid retreat over here, bro.
Acid retreat.
What does it taste like?
Yo, I'd be down. That'd be sick. Pitch some tents.
Yo,
in the summertime.
It's like anything, bro. It's a piece of paper that you put on your fucking tongue. That's it.
That's the reason, because I hate.
It can't be any worse than mushrooms.
Yeah.
No, no taste whatsoever. None.
Mushrooms taste like fucking.
Tastes gross.
Yeah.
And
garbage.
if you blaze, it enhances the fucking high, bro.
So okay, so that's what's
okay.
gonna happen,
So like
obviously.
just more. So you're saying we should take acid?
Hey man,
And then money immediately.
Like this guy keeps telling me. I feel like you ever seen Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, when he's like,
yeah.
Don't take that
smoking
shit.
reefers. You don't want none of this shit.
You don't want this shit.
He's like,
Can you get
it's not gonna
addicted?
get me addicted. It's not habit forming. It's not gonna make me want to have sex. It makes sex even better. It kind of sounds like I want it. It sounds expensive. It's the cheapest drug there is. For those of you who haven't seen it, go see it.
Dewey Cox, yeah, walk hard.
That's such a funny movie, man.
It is. It's hilarious, bro.
I
didn't think I was gonna like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it when I first popped it in. But it was a good fucking movie.
No, they're talking about the acid.
That too.
Acid too, yeah, that too, man.
Yeah.
Pop it. Let's go.
I think everybody should at least try something before they.
You're saying we should all try
Everyone. The world.
I'm just saying, if you're like strong believer in like trying things without like dismissing them for what they are, then yeah, definitely try them. Because like I used to be a big like advocate of like, oh, I would never do cocaine, I would never do this, I would never do that. But fuck, here I am, I've done all that shit, bro. Yeah, man, and I have had some wild nights in my fucking on my cocaine habits and shit, bro.
Wild boy.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm a wild boy.
Sammy used to hit licks after those
I
nights.
know, consistent basis, bro. Eat foods for days, bro.
Eat foods.
But I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea of doing an episode on it and going to Sammy's acid retreat out in Oakville.
Oh,
Yeah.
Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed.
I'm pretty sure he moved from Oakville too. I think it's like fucking Mono or some shit.
I feel like if we go and we do acid, I'm gonna start feeling like we're in Midsommar.
Please no.
We're tripping out. Yeah, but hopefully it's not like Midsommar.
But like that'd be a comfortable area to do, especially with the
Yeah,
Mandem and like on a summer night or summer day.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, man, like it's definitely
I
worth
feel
a
like
try.
it's just me and Rai Guy.
Acid on a Tuesday.
Definitely y'all.
What, you guys are trying to do acid?
Here's a good selling point. If you like shrooms, you'll love acid, bro. That's a good selling point.
All right.
Literally a definition
gotta,
of getting drugs right now.
Acid.
This is a definition.
Share the name.
So
You like
episodes,
shrooms, you gonna like shrooms. You like shrooms, you gonna like ass.
episodes coming up. We got Truman Show Part 2 coming up. We got the acid retreat episode.
Oh god.
Shit.
And we got the Molly Monday episode.
Molly Mondays.
Imagine just gonna pop Molly in the food.
Molly Mondays
On a Monday,
Just
in
freestyle.
their own yard, just chilling.
Molly bars, bro.
No, I don't want to go home.
With no intros, just off the dome, bro.
For 6 hours.
Yeah, as soon as the podcast starts, man, they're just gonna start.
Freestyle it.
Just dancing. Freestyling and dancing, bro. That's it. To no music. Just
No
bars.
music.
No beat in the back, just bars and dancing.
Mhm.
Oh, no shit.
Molly.
Man's hearing this, he's like, yo, what's wrong with the
So, moral of the story, if anything has been learned on this podcast today, is that freedom of speech does not
Freedom of
exist.
speech doesn't exist.
Music rights, if they could just take them like nothing,
Give
just
me
like
that.
they
You
take
don't need this.
things away from streaming services all the time. And drugs are awesome. Try every one of them if you haven't. That's what I learned today, kids.
Also,
Who tries for the children?
on a final note, and as previously mentioned, TGR Radio or Green Room Radio on Spotify, Trapping in Catan on Spotify,
Jeez.
and the usual socials plugs. If like
This time without the your name on it.
Your name, fam.
Bro, I don't know what it was. My plugin was fucking up, but
That's all right. I'd be surprised
it fine. It looks fine.
I'd be surprised if anybody makes it to that far in the video anyway. So it's just whatever.
Yeah.
People watch it and they just put it on and listen to us talk shit in the background.
I hope so.
If they do watch the TGR podcast, it's probably only for the start of the show, and that's little Omari, that cute Omari.
Yeah. Facts.
Shout out Mari.
I won't go to sleep, bro. I put him down like 6 times. Just woke up. I don't know
He
what
said,
talking
man,
about.
I'm linking up. I want to join, bro.
Yeah.
Man's looking at someone in the corner, fam.
He's like, you're trying to do a podcast without me, bro?
Trust
Nah,
my woods.
he's seeing someone in the corner right now. He's like, yo, what is that, fam? I'm trying to put you on that. There's
can
something in the
smell-
corner over there. You're not even
You know what I
looking.
mean?
Yeah, you can smell that grabs from here, bro.
Trying to grab it with a laptop too.
Grab up the grabber, yo.
Trying to send us a message.
Yeah, he's trying to
What?
DM.
There's
Yo, fam.
He's trying to DM Chromas, Jared.
Dude.
But yes, thanks again for joining us on another episode of TGR podcast. Until next time.
Yeah.
Later.
no.
Oh, jeez, Nico.
Oh, no. Jeez.
Got the exclusives over there.
Okay.
Jeez.